Welcome to the very first episode of What's the Point? Podcast by FirstPoint Media, where we delve into the stories, insights, and experiences of people behind great companies within our community. I'm your host, Hiba, and today I'm thrilled to have with us a very special guest, our co-founder and managing director, Stephen. Stephen, welcome to the podcast. We have some questions planned for you that you haven't seen. So we hope it's okay to walk you through them.
Yeah, of course. And first of all, I want to officially welcome you on board the FirstPoint family. We're really excited to have you. Well done on taking the lead on this initiative, having the FirstPoint podcast. I'm honored to be the first guest, and I look forward to our conversation.
Amazing. We are excited too. So Stephen, let's start at the beginning. Can you share with our listeners a bit about the journey of FirstPoint? How did it all begin?
Yeah, of course. So FirstPoint is your first point of contact when it comes to media, events, and production. We actually formed and launched a company last year. And what we found is there's a need to have a 360 solution when it comes to anything media, events, and production. I myself have over a decade of experience working in the space. I co-founded a production house before. I was leading an agency, both based in Dubai. And yeah, our vision is, to create really cool campaigns to cater to Western brands looking to transition here, which I think we're gonna probably get to later. I'm not sure if that's one of the questions, but we have put together really a great team, yourself included, of course, that come from all different backgrounds of creative work, corporate, agency. So it's a hybrid, and yeah, we already have big projects that we're involved with in a regional and global scale. And yeah, so we're very excited.
That's amazing. That's incredible. So what were some of the biggest challenges that you perhaps and many other companies face during launching that you would like to share with us in this region?
The first challenge any person that wants to open a business in the UAE will face is, specifically Dubai, let's say, is competition. So right now, the energy is great in terms of people coming here and wanting to open businesses. So the competition is high. I wouldn't say that's a negative challenge. I think for me, I'm a capitalist, so I believe capitalism actually solves a lot of issues that we have today. But yeah, so if you're not competitive, that's gonna, creep up on you. And if as a business you're not scaling properly, the competition will overtake your business. The second challenge I would say is target audience. So Dubai is actually a very unique place to advertise. And I'm sure you have faced this. A lot of people want the community, want to target their community, but don't have an understanding of how diverse the UAE is.
Absolutely.
If you get it right with just one segment or one community or one culture, that's not enough. You have to sort of get it right in like 8 different types of cultures, type of messaging. So that's obviously a bit of a challenge. But the good thing about that is once you get it right, then you know how to appeal to that culture, or you know how to appeal to that community. So then if you go to that market, if you go to the Asian market or the African market or the European market, you kind of understand, what kind of messaging and what kind of, marketing you need to do in order to acquire those customers. Other challenges, I think one of the biggest things I've seen here is client expectations versus scope versus price. I think that's a really big challenge that many people in the service industry face. It comes down to managing the client's expectation. A lot of times, you've been there. Clients
Yeah.
want,
Yes.
the moon and the stars, and unfortunately they don't have the budget for it. But I think in the beginning, it's about being firm, and ensuring that the client expectations are met along with the scope. So I've seen a lot of people cost for a project in a very inaccurate way, and it kind of creeps up on them later on. So yeah, it's a key thing to balance. Client expectations versus scope versus costing is something, is important in the beginning, just to kind of, be strict. I know, when you and the other team members are dealing with clients, you guys do a great job in the beginning, kind of putting your foot down in a obviously professional way, saying, look, this is what I think you're aiming to achieve. Let's do it on this basis, and that's the cost. So those, I would say, I wouldn't say challenges, just kind of things that, as a business you need to look out for, which I think is applicable to most of the gateway markets.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. So, speaking of impact, what has been your most rewarding part of your journey with FirstPoint?
Well, I enjoy, seeing the team work together, to be honest. Campaigns that bring the team together in a way that enhances their creativity or forces them to become creative is definitely fulfilling to see. We have really, really special clients that have big ambition, which we like, because big ambition means we have to bring it to life. So that usually gives us a very fulfilling feeling, which is something that is also rewarding. And just the overall success of us bringing success to our clients. A lot of our clients are in the healthcare sector, as you know. So, getting them positioned correctly, getting them the right patients, getting them, to actually speak their mission is extremely, I would say, fulfilling as well. And the biggest thing is, whenever we start a campaign, and I think you've heard me say this, is always ask yourself, what is the purpose of this campaign? Right? Even if the client defines it, it's important for us to always ask ourselves, what is the purpose of the campaign? Because that will help you then identify who needs to see it and what kind of messaging we need to do. I think a lot of issues that we see here is we see baseless campaigns just for the sake of just promoting things.
Exactly,
And I don't like to see that. I like to see purpose. I like to see, a bit of a backbone to a story, because from that, everything else trickles down. So those are the type of things that FirstPoint is about. We want to tell the story for any brand that wants to appeal to its community, to its audience. It's definitely not an easy thing. A lot of research is obviously involved, a lot of creativity from yourself and the team that we have coming together, kind of bouncing ideas. So that's the type of stuff that keeps us going, and the type of stuff that we like.
That's wonderful to hear. Let's shift gears a bit. Stephen, can you explain to us your role as a managing director?
Yeah. So as an MD, I wake up. I usually have a update with myself. I have a HQ dashboard that has all of the things to do with the company. So I usually will have that updated the night before, so that when I wake up, I kind of know what I'm tackling. And then I'll have a catch-up call with our DOO, Director of Operations, Mansour, who's great. Really happy to have him with us. Definitely, a good backbone for me in terms of managing all the execution and all of the work that comes out of FirstPoint. So we usually have a catch-up. And then I check in with the accounts team. So see if there's any issues there. Usually there isn't. You guys are doing a fantastic job. And then it's just basically meetings. There's usually a fire or two I have to put out. And then at the middle of the day, I'll check in with finance to see if everything's okay, if there's any delays, to make sure everything's going well. in my position, you have to wear multiple hats. And there's nothing, obviously, I'm responsible for the overall operation of the business. I'm responsible for making sure we're growing, we're scaling. But at the same time, there are things that come up you would never think come up. And the decision stops, with me. So I have to make the decision, and it has to be the right one, which is great. It's a blessing because, we have the opportunity to do great things. So, I'm in no way complaining about it. I'm actually, very thankful, to be in a city like Dubai, to be in a position where I can work with great people. I've built a network of people that are really good, and we're seeing a lot of that within our work. So, yeah.
That's great. It really does sound like you wear many hats. So how do you balance the demands of leadership with maintaining a personal life?
Okay, so I have, I guess I'm a bit of an extremist when it comes to this whole idea of work-life balance. You're speaking to someone that hasn't taken a day off in 2.5 years.
Wow.
I just came off my honeymoon, and I was working every single day on my honeymoon, which, again, it's a decision. I think if you're working for someone in a company, it's important you take time off. Of course, I always advocate for that. But if you make the crucial decision to branch off and start your own thing, you have to understand what comes with it. It's not a 9 to 5, and it's not, all right, there's an issue, someone will sort it, or I don't have to cater to things every single minute. So there's a decision that goes with it. So when it comes to work-life balance, it's kind of split for me. If you're working for a company, and of course you're enjoying what you're doing, then taking time off is important. If you take the decision of being an entrepreneur or starting anything that's your own, in today's world, it's extremely competitive. So you're gonna have to give it 100%. It's really hard to create something of value, scalable, and the most important thing, sustainable, right? You don't wanna just get to the top, right? Or get to a good level and then you not be able to maintain it. You have to give it 100%. If you're at the top, there's no switching off, So that's kind of my view on it. Again, I think people associate burnout with time.
Yes.
And I don't believe that. I think burnout is more tied to environment. So if you're in the wrong environment, you're going to get burned quick, right?
That's so true.
Yeah, you're going to get burned quick because you're demotivated. You're going into
100%.
a company where you're just, checking out, and you're not really that motivated to be there. So you're going to get burnt out pretty quick. Maybe a week in and you're burnt out. But if, I enjoy what I do, right? So when I tell you I haven't taken a day off in 2.5 years, it's not just to, say it. Like, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy, seeing the clients I work with very happy. Actually, it's kind of funny. I think one of our clients had to call my wife on our honeymoon and tell her, "Hey, I think, is everything okay? You need to tell Steven to kind of, But that's just me, like, And I identify as a functional paranoid. Yeah.
Functional paranoid.
Functional paranoid, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, functional paranoid, and I think you kind of have to be, because when you're paranoid, it kind of to you kind of being a perfectionist, because you want to make sure the negative doesn't happen. So you're always kind of overthinking, and so I'm a functional paranoid for sure. So my clients are important to me, our clients, and for us to make sure they're okay. And plus, everything's on your phone now. Not to complicate things, everything's on your phone. You can do a lot of catch-ups and a lot of movement on your phone. So yeah.
That's amazing to know. And functional paranoid, it's a really nice term that we've just come across. Yeah. So, Steven, what is next for FirstPoint Media?
So this year we have big plans. We're actually we just kicked off a project that I'm very excited about. It's a huge healthcare event that's going to take place end of this year, hopefully. I can't mention too much details, but it's going to be in Dubai, and it's going to attract people from all over the world. And that's something that we're working on as of yesterday. So FirstPoint will be leading the full execution from pre-planning, conceptualization, event management, production, digital, traditional, so A to Z, content creation. So that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. The other thing as well that we're excited about is we have a big initiative that I believe you're leading called the Women in Business Initiative.
Yes.
Which I'm personally very excited about. Advocating for female leadership in our region is something FirstPoint is definitely for. So we're excited to see that come to fruition and seeing you lead that. And again, it's always great to get people together.
100%.
And even if that's it, and it's just discussions, one thing might spark a conversation, one other thing might spark an idea. And that's really what we're about. So that's something that we're excited about. We officially launched our VMC program, which stands for Venture Marketing Capital.
Okay.
That's something I'm also very excited about. So the VMC program is tailored for startups that want to offset their marketing costs. The big issue that I have seen with many great ideas, really cool ideas that come out of the region, they don't have proper marketing spend, because it's very expensive, Salaries are expensive in Dubai. So having a good team can cost you a lot. So we want to offset that. So if you believe in a startup, it fits the FirstPoint vision, preferably in the wellness space or in the health space, but it doesn't have to be. We'll offset all of the marketing costs by offering our team to help with branding, to help with digital, to help with web, SEO, whatever it is. And in exchange, we take equity. So that's something we're excited about. We're already in discussion with a couple companies that have an established brand, but just can't seem to kickstart their revenue and their growth. So we're there to support.
That sounds amazing. Before we wrap up, Stephen, do you have anything else to share with us? Any advice for the youth?
Well, first of all, this has been great, and I look forward to seeing the next episode and the one after. And the advice I would give to people that want to start off, let's say, starting any business, is be careful who you take advice from. I think that's super important. In my experience, I've realized a lot of people, on the sideline give advice, but that saying, talk is cheap.
Yeah.
Unless you actually put your words to action, there's no point in taking that advice. You can give it. People, it's free. You give advice, but I would say, look at who's giving you advice. See if that's, someone that is in a position or in a circumstance that you're striving for, So I think that's important. The second thing is, you don't have to have a big social life. That's something that I came to a couple years ago. Is I needed a lot of friends and needed to see every event that's taking place or whatever. And then about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I made a decision and said, what, I'm gonna just focus on family and business. And ROI there obviously is great. So I would say those two pieces of advice should be good, hopefully. And yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, Stephen. And with that, we wrap up our first episode of What's the Point? Thank you very much.